so then in 2013, summer of 2013, my mother visited, and so that was a year after I had, quit and started this thing, and she sort of. It was a little bit of an intervention on her part because she sort of, was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean? What do you? What? I'm a career coach, and this is what I do." And then she observed that, like, all I was doing was, much of it was like not paid, and so I think she was really worried that I would, just like not be able to pay my mortgage. And I, of course, was completely not thinking about any of that. I was just really happy, helping the people at the church, helping the homeless people, and and then, and my mother always, she's so funny. She always says, "Ane mama danne, me la mia monada karanne ke la mama danne." So I heard her, like, she was here for 3 months, and she would be calling my father or calling my brother and constantly like, "Ane mama danne me hiraya kana mata ma terumak ne me la mia karana deval." So, and then she was, I mean, she was very sympathetic. She understood that I really was happy, much happier than I'd been before in these six-figure corporate jobs with this volunteering stuff. And but she was also like, "Hira, if you don't, figure out a plan here, you are going to be one of the homeless people yourself. So what's the plan?" And I was like, I mean, I didn't really have a plan. And then she, she was instrumental in this business of going to universities and approaching them. And that really was the beginning, I would say. So September 2013 really was the beginning of, Careerly as it is today. And my mom was very good at sort of convincing me by saying, "Look, if you really enjoy this work, and if you want to do that, you have to have a base. There has to be some sort of base income and something that supports you, and then you can always, do this stuff." And so that's, she was very good at kind of convincing me to go and talk to the universities and just, say, just do that as a base, and then you can do the things that you love to do and that you're passionate about. And so I was so reluctant, and I mean, she really had to kind of push me, and but I did go and approach the one university, and that lady, I mean, my mother was right. She said they would find you so valuable because you have a MBA from Wharton, and you've done all these careers. You worked at the World Bank, you worked on Wall Street, and and so this Georgetown School of Business, the MBA program, the lady who was the career services director met me, and she immediately said, "Oh, do you want to do 10 hours of work a week and help our students?" And I said, "Sure." I mean, I was like, part of it was I thought, this is a good idea. At least it gives me some income. And part of it was I just didn't want to go home and tell my mother, like, that I hadn't sorted this out, So I said yes, okay. And so that's how it started. I literally started with 10 hours. And I think what I did not predict was how much I actually would love working with the student population and how much they would connect with me. There was a massive, kind of very unexpected connection because I think, I'm like them, right? I'm just a bunch of years ahead. But I had worked in banking. I had worked at the World Bank. I had worked in the very careers that they were trying to recruit into. So there was a lot of credibility there. I also had an MBA from a top school. And I think finally they just related to me. I think they thought, I mean, I'm not anywhere close to their age, but maybe they thought I was, or I don't know. And I'm very laid back and easygoing. I'm not, a stiff, formal person. And, for whatever reason, they really connected with me. And so, and the international students especially. So there's a, very big international student population at these universities in the U.S., as you may or may not know. A lot of Chinese students, a lot of Indian students. And, in me, they found an ally. In me, they found somebody they weren't afraid to go and speak to. And so basically those 10 hours became, they asked me if I could do 20 hours, then they asked me if I could do 30 hours, and then they asked me if I wanted a job, and at which point, I had at least had the wisdom to know like that, there was a lot of pressure to take that job, but I knew that was the wrong way to go. Like that just would not work out for me. And so, I just said to them, look, I'm happy to coach as a contractor and just tell me what you need done. And then from there, it was a question of, we got, just referrals to, what ended up happening is, other schools also kind of wanted this sort of industry piece. And so the word spread that I had that, the word spread that I was also very good with the international students because I myself had been an international student in the US and I had gone through the process of being sponsored on these H-1Bs. And, so it was kind of this very fortuitous thing where my personal experience was so critical. And, most career services staff doesn't have that kind of personal experience that connects them to the students. And so then I got referred to the School of Foreign Service, and then from there, they referred me to Hopkins, and somewhere in there was Catholic University, which ended up being actually one of our largest clients. And then, I remember at one point being a bit stressed out because, at one point I simply could not, I could do like maximum 3 schools. I couldn't do more than that. And I remember University of Maryland was a really good opportunity, and it was a finance department, and in the end I had to turn it down. I mean, I just had to say I can't because I just didn't have the capacity. And at that point I thought, what a shame, because clearly these students, there's so many students who value what I have to offer, and I was like, I really want to help these students. And so then I hired one part-time coach who then became full-time, and then I had a second and a third part-time coach. And so then we, that's kind of what it was. We went from 1 contract to 8 contracts over a period of 4 years. And we served a student population of probably about 2,500 students. And, so it was it's a very small team. It's basically, like I said, me and 3 other people. And somehow, I don't know how we got through this last year, the 2016-2017 school year. Everybody was maxed out and coaching crazy hours. And so that's the story of Careerly. And then I started to think, okay, I have to figure out a solution here, because there was a capacity issue, right? Because even though I have never marketed our services, we have never once approached a single school. It's always been referrals, but I mean, I think we're pretty decent at what we do, and we're priced very reasonably. And so I predicted that, we probably would get more university demand, student demand, and I'm the kind of person who can never say no, especially if I feel like the students are going to benefit. And so I just thought, okay, we have to solve this issue, this capacity issue. And the critical piece there was how, I figured out that it would have to be some sort of platform, like a virtual platform. This business of going to universities, being present physically was such a constraint, and I felt like if it was virtual, we could also tap into industry coaching talent no matter where it was, right? It didn't have to be that they were in DC. And so, I don't know, it was a bunch of things that, I think what was really, I had worked as a contract coach at these universities, 8 of them practically. And I'd worked with all these students. So I kind of understood, I saw the gaps, I saw the inefficiencies, I saw, I was able to firsthand kind of observe, okay, here's what the universities are doing well, but here's what's missing, and here's why we seem to have this massive demand, and here's why we've grown without us doing a single thing, And so then I just thought, okay, well, we have a capacity issue to solve. And so it became about creating some sort of technology-based platform. And so that's Kareli Networks, and that's basically what we've been working on for the last 8 months. And it's been amazing. And of course, it evolves. The business model evolves as we go along. So many things just keep evolving, and you just have to be very. You kind of have to be able to pivot quickly as you learn new information, and we are about to actually launch. I think 19th of June is the date to launch, and so it's www.karelinetworks.com. So that's going to be a specific student portal. So we still have Kareli.co, which is the mother company, but karelinetworks.com is a much more ambitious endeavor. And I have partners, and it's we're trying to do something pretty big here, and so. It's a tech platform. We have hired 28 career coaches, as in industry coaches. So they actually have jobs at these top companies, and Citi and Bank of America, PwC, EY, McKinsey, Amazon, World Bank, UN. IFC, IDB, couple of startups. So basically these are people with actual real jobs and who will be on our platform coaching part-time, and that's, I think, exactly what the students need. What I wanted to do is kind of replicate me in a way that was feasible. So that's the new business model, sort of matching students directly, or universities if they want to partner with us, and to a phenomenal bench of industry talent, as well as industry specific content and introductions, referrals, because everybody on our platform, whether they're a coach or whether they're part of the industry mentor network, these are all incredible people with great careers and fabulous networks of their own, and so they really can really help these students move forward in their job search and in their career. So that's basically what Kareli Networks is about. And I would say that I think I was asked about sort of what was the most exciting thing, and then what's been a great challenge. And I would just say that the most exciting thing, I think, is just it's just you really, when you have a vision and you are so idealistically committed to that vision, and for me, it's all about I really want students to have it doesn't matter where they are, it doesn't matter what school they're in, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter. I would love that all students can access the kind of opportunities that I had. And for me, it was just luck, right? It was pure luck that I ended up, it was just one thing after another. It was good people who believed in me, and it'd be great and there's no reason why I'm not, particularly special, or it's just that I happen to have these circumstances and these opportunities, and I think it would be just so great if more students, and especially, of course, my heart, I wish more students from Asia, more students from India, Sri Lanka, I just wish they had a way of connecting to the industry expertise and industry people that are out there. And so that's really, I would say that's been amazing, kind of having that real vision and then bringing that to life and seeing it actually evolve. Challenges, I guess, it's always difficult to figure out the business model. Should it be B2C? Should it be B2B? Should it be, and what's the pricing? And, there's all that sort of questions. And, I've been very lucky that I have a few business partners who are, it's a nice balance, because I'm always, trying to, they always make fun of me saying, here, are you is this a philanthropy, or, is this an actual business, So they're very good at reining in, some of my idealistic visions and being more pragmatic, and they are much, they actually are they're responsible for getting the pricing. I was obviously very underpriced, and they did some really good market testing and figured the pricing out. So that was a really big help, and I appreciate having some very, very dedicated and smart, intelligent people sort of beside me, guiding me, and so yeah, so that's the story of Carillion.